what led you to make the addition to the running back room with Tyrone this week?
Yeah, just Tyrone's experience and playing. We understand about Deontay and his carries and his leg, what can go in his body and what can go in his leg. So just an opportunity to give him a breather and an opportunity for to get a little of those bangs and hits off of him, and then put it in a guy's hands that's carried it before. When we lost Chris, all of a sudden you go to a room that was pretty heavy to it got pretty light in a hurry. So being able to put a guy out there that's had game experience, that's had the ball in his hands in meaningful situations was important to us, and the reason that he's gotten some carries over there.
Was it just his game experience that kind of put him above the freshman Kyle LaJordan?
Yeah, but we still feel really good about Kyle. But just again, we've got a lot of youth out there on that field, and so if you got an opportunity to move a guy that's got experience, that's had the ball in his hands in meaningful situations, I mean it's an intelligent move to do that, and we want to make sure that he's a guy that brings a spark to us. He's a guy that that we believe in, and a guy that's big and physical and can run downhill. So those are all reasons that we like putting him back there.
Sterlin, he does have experience carrying the ball, but not necessarily taking handoffs. Is that something, you saw him fumble? Is that something he has to work on? Is that kind of a worry for you?
The fumble was because we had a guy right in his lap, if you'll remember the play.
Sure.
Okay, and we didn't block that guy, so that guy was right in his lap on the handoff. We're coming from the pistol, so the handoff's happening right here. So that wasn't on Tyrone. But, again, he's a guy that's handled the ball a lot in his career. When you're a quarterback, majority of the time you and the center are the main guys that are touching the ball, so that's not a concern for us. Just grasping what we want him to do, and he's got a package with it, and we know that he's heads in what we want him to do.
Charlie explained Monday why you guys would want to put Deontay out wide, because I know y'all want to show some things on film and you want to see how Baylor reacts and things like that. But do you do ever any second guessing about putting your best player out wide and giving it to somebody else in a crucial situation?
Not at all. Just as like a lot of people, we got reasons for why we do things, and it's just another set that he's on the field, and just a thing that we put him out there to see what they were going to do, and obviously we got some ideas with it.
Right. And a follow-up on that is, there haven't been any pop passes or any kind of surprise wrinkles out of the 18-wheeler. Is that by design?
No, I mean we've got stuff that's ready, and just when the time arises, then we'll use it. So.
Right, Amber.
Coach, you always talk about you take what the defense is giving you. How do you kind of make that distinction when you're calling plays on taking what they give you and maybe say, okay, we're going to impose our will, like because you have Duvernay, for instance, who seems to be explosive, but then you kind of rein back. So I'm just kind of curious on your thoughts.
What we're fortunate in the situation is with our offense and with our kids and the kind of kids we have, is that we took a different path to win on Saturday, and the ultimate goal is to win. And the thing that we're going to be and continue to be is adaptable, adjustable to whatever they're giving us on the other side of the ball, to take advantage of that and put ourselves in a situation for success. We realize, when you go to heavy sets, somebody's coming off the field. We realize that. When we go to, a lot of receivers on the field, then we know running backs are coming off the field. So we understand and know, schematically what we want to get accomplished, but we're just fortunate that we're in a position because of our personnel, because of the unselfishness of our kids, that we're able to adapt and adjust. If we need to run the ball downhill, then we've got packages to do that. And, we feel fortunate and feel confident and belief that we're able to do that, because I don't feel like, maybe a lot of teams across the nation, want to do that or are capable of doing that. So we're fortunate that we do that, or capable of doing that, and that we had success doing it and found another way to win a game on Saturday.
Sure.
Jake McMillan's a guy who's bounced around several positions on the line. What did you see from him on Saturday at left guard?
Yeah, just a guy who's unselfish. He's just like I talked to him about, and he's a West Texas kid. He's unselfish. He's tough. He's gritty. Come from a great program. at Abilene High, and a kid that just has continued to get better week in and week out. And he's played center for us, he's played guard for us, so he's had to bounce around because we've been banged up front. So, he did a good job, and he's going to continue to get better. And he's doing everything that we ask him to put himself in a situation to make us successful. And we're excited about him, and definitely see him going in a positive direction.
Over here, Danny.
What do the tight ends, Andrew Beck, Caleb Blewett, what do they bring to your offense?
Yeah, both of those guys are athletic. Both of those guys bring an aspect of being, physical. And just like I was just talking about, I mean, we just got different ways and packages that we can use guys. So we're fortunate, that those two guys are on our football team, and that we got those two guys on the offensive side of the ball. So they're athletic. They bring a physicality to us on that side of the ball, being able to run the ball downhill and being able to run behind those guys. Then Beck showed some of his athleticism on Saturday with his catches.
Anwar.
Coach, I know you've said that you're happy with a lot of the receivers who've been able to step up in that room. John Burt, he did have another drop, and it seemed on the Buechele interception that instead of coming back, he was just almost trying to cradle the ball because he was so nervous about catching it. What's been your message to him in practice this week?
Just strong eyes, strong hands. And just keep battling. And that's with all of our guys, we just got to keep getting better and keep getting balls in our hands, and they can't catch enough balls right now, and tennis balls, and just continuing to grow their trade of catching the football, and those are things that they're focused on. Coach Williams, Coach Traylor, those guys have done a great job with the growth and development of that room, and just continue to get that core stronger and better that we can use and utilize several of those guys in the game.
Over here, Jeff.
Sterling, Texas Tech has struggled this year defensively, but it seems like they had a good outing against TCU. From the film you've watched, what was different about them against TCU, and what do you expect from them kind of going forward, and what do you expect to see on Saturday?
Yeah, they've got some athletic guys on that side of the ball, and they're running around with a purpose, and you can tell that they did. They got in a battle at TCU and were able to pull it out. And you can just tell they got those kids playing hard right now, and they're physical, they're athletic, they're around the football, and they're battling too, just trying to improve themselves just as we are.
In the back, Andrew.
Coach, Gerard Hurd was missing from the game Saturday. Was that a matter of just, like you said, spreading the ball around, or was there an injury or something happening?
Yeah, we just played in some of those heavier sets, and there's only two guys that can be out there on the field at receiver, so it just minimized some of those kind of reps for some of those guys. But it wasn't nothing to look into outside of that.
John, grab that mic. Hang tight, Brian.
Yeah. Sterling, going into November here, I want to ask you about Shane. I mean, do you ever talk to him about the importance of him maintaining an even keel with the guys, knowing that a lot of people are looking at him and how he reacts and how he handles situations feeds everyone else?
Yeah, that's been a constant conversation. It just, that's a huge part of his demeanor and how he is about his poise and his confidence and how he handles himself. And he's done a really good job with that. And he's, this is football's an emotional game, and he's carried a little bit of that with him. He's got a lot of fight in him, a lot of grit in him. And he carries that, and not only does he carry that, I believe, he breathes that to our football team and our offense. So those guys believe in him and what he's doing, and just the way he is and the confidence that he carries with himself on the field and at practice and meetings in this building right here.
And I know you don't necessarily give them grades per se, but none of his games have been any real clunkers. It's all been just steady performances week in, week out. How would you rate how he's in 2 months into this thing now?
Yeah, he's really done a really good job. He's the first true freshman quarterback that I've ever coached. So when you put a baseline on those guys, and especially a young kid, and I reach back and start seeing where some of those other kids, other places I've been at, were at their first year, and just try to compare. But you're trying to compare with understanding, again, that Shane's a true freshman. So you kind of got to take it with a grain of salt and just, understand and know. And it's just about steady development with him, steady progress with him. about getting him better, and he has. He's played really well, and he's played good, and he's made mistakes along the way, and those are things that we focus on, that we've identified, and that he's fixed. And then obviously, just like I've said before, every game rep, every practice rep, every rep that he takes is a growth rep. And I don't know if any point there's not one that's not ever that, but when you're an older guy and you've done it, quite a few times, it's just kind of repetition to you. But still, for Shane, everything's new. Going to Lubbock, Texas on Saturday will be new. So that's just another example when you're playing with a true freshman.
Anything else? All good.
Thank you.